Welcome back, deep divers. We love to tackle the big questions here. And lately, a lot of you have been sending in articles about, well, the biggest question of all, are we alone in the
The
universe?
ultimate mystery, right?
Absolutely. And these articles you sent, they're all buzzing about a recent discovery on this asteroid, Bennu, so we're going to deep dive into that today.
Sounds fascinating.
It is. First of all, just think about it. We have a piece of an asteroid right here on Earth.
It's pretty remarkable when you think about the journey that sample took.
Seriously, like a spacecraft chased this thing down millions of miles away, grabbed a piece of it, and brought it back. It landed in the Utah desert, like something out of a movie.
Yeah, and it's not just any asteroid. Bennu is a fragment of a much larger one that formed billions of years ago, like 4.5 billion, something like that.
So it's like a time capsule from the very beginning of our solar system.
Exactly, a window into the past.
So what's inside this time capsule? The articles mention something about the building blocks of life.
That's right, they found organic molecules on Bennu.
Okay. And those are, sorry, just, for anyone listening who might not know, what exactly are organic molecules?
Sure, they're the molecules that contain carbon and are the basis for all life as we know it.
Right.
And they found a lot of them, not just tiny traces, like a diverse collection, including amino acids.
Which are the building blocks of...
Proteins.
Yeah, got it.
Oh, and this is cool. They found all 5 nucleobases, too.
Now, those are the building blocks of
DNA and RNA, the genetic code.
Whoa. Okay, so the ingredients for life just hanging out on an asteroid. So, does that mean there was life on Bennu?
Well, hold on. It's a big jump from having the ingredients to having, actual life. Think of it this way. You can have flour, sugar, and eggs, but you don't automatically have a cake, right?
That's a good analogy. But still, it's pretty wild to think about these ingredients just floating around out there.
It really is. And here's another thing that's got scientists talking. They think Bennu actually has a greater variety of these organic molecules than we even find here on Earth.
Wait, really? More than Earth?
Yep, it seems that way.
That's kind of mind-blowing. Does that mean, maybe life could arise in ways we haven't even imagined?
It definitely makes you wonder, right? It broadens our perspective on what's possible. And it raises a lot of questions about how those molecules got there in the first place. What were the conditions like on Bennu that allowed them to form?
Well, speaking of conditions, one of the articles I read mentioned something about a briny broth.
Oh yeah, that's another really exciting piece of this puzzle. Scientists found evidence that there was probably liquid water on Bennu's parent asteroid, mixed with salts, kind of like a primordial soup, but, on an asteroid.
So like a salty space soup.
Exactly.
But wait, I'm a little confused. Didn't you say earlier that water is lost when these molecules form?
You're right. Yeah, that's the paradox. We need liquid water for life as we know it, but the chemical reactions that create these complex molecules actually require water to be, removed in the process. It's kind of a balancing act.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm starting to see how complex this is. So we have these building blocks forming in this space soup. What does that tell us about the possibility of life out there in the universe? Are we talking aliens swimming in asteroid soup?
Haha, well, let's not jump ahead too far.
Okay, fair enough.
We haven't found evidence of actual life on Bennu, just the ingredients, but it definitely has implications for our search for life beyond Earth.
Right, because if those ingredients are on an asteroid and asteroids are, everywhere,
Exactly.
doesn't that mean the chances of life existing somewhere else are much higher?
Well, it certainly makes you wonder, doesn't it?
So it's less about, finding aliens on Bennu and more about realizing that the stuff life is made of, it might be way more common than we thought, right?
Yeah, exactly. It really changes our perspective. And what's even crazier is how much of that stuff they found. They were able to look at this sample on a tiny scale using these super powerful microscopes.
Oh, yeah, the electron microscopes, right. The ones that can see, atoms or something.
Pretty much. Imagine examining something the width of a human hair. That's the level of detail we're talking about. And what they found was amazing. Even more variety of organic molecules than we typically find on Earth.
Hold on, are you serious? This asteroid has more of life's building blocks than our own planet. But Earth is, teeming with life.
I know, right? It seems counterintuitive, but that's what the data shows. For example, take amino acids.
Right, those are essential for life.
Exactly. And there are 20 that are considered, the essential ones for life on Earth. Well, Bennu has 14 of those.
Okay, so far so good.
But also has 19 non-protein amino acids, types that are super rare or just not even present in life as we know it here.
Whoa, that's kind of blowing my mind right now. It makes you wonder if maybe those missing ingredients could be part of how life could form in other ways. You know what I mean?
Totally. It really challenges our assumptions about what's necessary for life to arise. What if there are other pathways we haven't even considered?
Right. Okay, so what about DNA, the genetic code? Did they find evidence of that on Bennu too?
They did. Remember those 5 nucleobases we talked about?
Adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, and uracil, the ATCGs.
Yep, those are the molecules that carry the instructions for building and running living organisms.
Yeah, yeah.
And all 5 of them were found in the Bennu sample. So we've got the amino acids for building proteins, the nucleobases for genetic material, and evidence of that briny broth that could have helped these complex molecules form.
So it sounds like we're getting pretty close to actual life forming on Bennu's parent asteroid, right? It seems like all the pieces are in place.
Well, it's tempting to think that, but we have to be careful. I mean, we have the building blocks, yeah, but we haven't found any proof that they actually came together to form more complex structures, like proteins or DNA, on Bennu itself, I mean.
Oh, I see. So, like, we have all the ingredients for a cake, but we don't know if the cake was ever actually baked.
Exactly. And even if those more complex structures did form, it takes a lot more than just proteins and DNA to create life. You need a way to enclose those molecules, like within a cell, and a system for converting energy, and a way to replicate and pass on genetic information. Life is complicated.
Yeah, that makes sense. So even though Bennu gives us all these incredible clues about the potential for life out there, it doesn't definitively prove that life existed on its parent asteroid, right?
Right.
But what it does show is that the ingredients for life might be way more common and more easily accessible than we ever thought possible.
Absolutely. And that alone is a huge discovery. It has major implications for how we think about the search for life beyond Earth.
That's what I was thinking. So how does this discovery change the game? What are some of the ways it could affect future space missions?
Well, for one thing, the success of OSIRIS-REx shows us how valuable sample return missions are. Scientists now have an actual piece of an asteroid to study up close. It allows for much more detailed analysis than just observing it from afar.
So basically, it's way better to have the actual thing in your hands than to just look at it through a telescope.
Exactly, and that's going to lead to more missions designed to collect samples from other places too, like other asteroids, comets, maybe even moons.
Wow, that's so cool. What kinds of places would scientists be most interested in studying based on what we've learned from Bennu?
Well, now that we know Bennu likely came from the outer solar system, that opens up a whole new area for exploration. You see, missions targeting other asteroids from that region could hold even more clues about the early solar system.
Oh, that's fascinating. It's like Bennu gave us a treasure map to follow.
I like that. Yeah, exactly. And we might even find asteroids that are even better preserved. Ones that hasn't been as exposed to the sun's heat and radiation.
So even older, more pristine time capsules.
Exactly. And there's another avenue of research that's becoming more important now, too. Studying meteorites here on Earth.
Oh yeah, the ones that fall to Earth. So like mini asteroids, right?
Pretty much. And remember how we talked about those well-preserved salts in the Bennu sample? Those wouldn't have survived if the fragment had just fallen to Earth on its own.
Because of our atmosphere and all that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we were super lucky that OSIRIS-REx brought back a pristine sample, protected from all that.
So like a perfectly preserved snapshot of the past. That's incredible.
It is. And those salts are telling us a lot about where Bennu's parent body actually formed. It seems like it came from the outer solar system, too.
Wait, really? So this asteroid that's orbiting close to Earth now, it actually started out way farther out.
Yeah, it did. It just goes to show you how much things can move around in the solar system over billions of years. All that gravitational pull and collisions,
It's like a giant cosmic billiards game.
I like that analogy. And here's the exciting part. We can now use what we learned from Bennu to re-examine all those meteorites we already have here on Earth.
Oh, wow. So like we might already have pieces of those ancient life-supporting environments in our collections, and we just haven't recognized them yet.
Exactly. Bennu is giving us a whole new way to look at our meteorite collections. It's possible that evidence of these life-supporting environments is more common than we thought, just waiting to be discovered.
That's mind-blowing. So not only are there new discoveries to be made out in space, but there's also a ton of potential for new discoveries right here on Earth, just by looking at what we already have with fresh eyes.
Absolutely. It's like Bennu has opened up a whole new chapter in our understanding of the early solar system, and it's totally changed the game for the search for life beyond Earth.
It really has. It's just incredible to think about how much we've learned from this one mission and how much more there is still to discover.
It's an amazing time to be involved in space exploration. With each new mission, we're pushing the boundaries of knowledge and opening up new frontiers. It's really exciting.
It's amazing to think, every time we find an answer out there in space, it seems like it just leads to even more questions. We've been talking about these building blocks of life and different ways life might even be able to form. And this crazy journey Bennu took from way out in the solar system to where it is now. What else? What other surprises does this asteroid have for us?
Well, I think one of the most important things is that it really changes how we think about the search for life beyond Earth. I mean, before this, we mostly focused on planets, right?
Right, planets that could have liquid water.
Yeah, because we always thought that was essential for life.
Makes sense. Life as we know it needs water. But Bennu seems to be saying, hey, maybe there are other ways for life to get started, even on an asteroid, which seems like, I don't know, a pretty harsh place to live.
Right. But that's the thing. We find these complex organic molecules there and that briny broth, and it makes you think that even asteroids could be places where life could at least, get going.
That just completely changes our perspective. So does this mean we need to start scanning every asteroid out there, looking for aliens?
Well, maybe not every asteroid, but it definitely broadens our search, right? It tells us we need to keep an open mind about where life might exist. We need to study more asteroids, especially the ones that might have come from the outer solar system like Bennu did. See if those organic molecules are common or if Bennu's just special.
So more missions like OSIRIS-REx going out and grabbing pieces of asteroids.
Exactly. And not just those. I mean, we can use telescopes too. Study the light reflecting off asteroids, see what kinds of molecules they have on their surfaces.
So Bennu basically gave us a new set of clues for where to look for life. It's not just about planets anymore. We can add asteroids to the list.
Exactly. And it's not just about finding aliens either, right? Bennu also helps them understand our own solar system better. How it formed, how the planets came to be where they are, how those elements got spread around.
It's like one mission had this huge ripple effect, changing how we think about so many things. It's incredible. Really is.
Yeah, it shows you how important exploration is. And that curiosity, every new discovery, even a little one, can lead to these big changes in how we see the universe and our place in it, too.
I think everyone listening can agree this deep dive has left us with a sense of awe. It's just amazing what we've learned from this one little asteroid, and even more amazing to think about all that's still out there waiting to be discovered.
It's a really exciting time to be involved in space exploration. Each mission, we're learning more, pushing the boundaries of what we know. It's truly inspiring.
So for everyone out there who shares that feeling, keep looking up, keep asking those questions. Who knows what else is out there waiting for us to find it?
Every rock, every asteroid, every planet, they all have a story to tell. We just have to listen.
I love that. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey to Bennu. Until next time, keep exploring.